Welcome to Beard, Swords and Shotguns. Today we'll be taking you through our top 10 tip beginner's guide in Mountain Blade 2. These tips really helped us early game, getting us on our feet and really setting us on our way to build a great army that will conquer the world. The first tip is the sell all feature. Click on the radio button at the right hand side of any item. That button locks the item in place. So when you actually use the sell all feature, you don't sell the items that you needed to keep. The second one on the list is check your food supplies. Now this is extremely important to keep your army alive. As you travel through the world, your army will definitely consume food to keep them strong and healthy. I would actually not recommend buying food from the big cities, purely because they probably have, a bit more expensive pricing in terms of food. I would rather go to the small neighboring villages, and the way you can identify what type of food or resource a village sells is there will be some sort of indication right in front of the village on the world map. Number 3. Reach an army size of around about 15 to 20 men. The reason why this is important is because the smaller your army, the more likely smaller groups of bandits or raiders will attack you, whereas if you had a big army, they would think twice. So how do you actually get your army to 15 to 20 in a short amount of time? Well, it's actually quite easy. All you need to do is visit every single small village, buy up all the little recruits. They won't cost you much, but they also won't be powerful in battle either. Which is fine though, because the more battle experience they get, they also level and they can become strong warriors. This is probably my favorite one of all the tips, and this one is kite your enemies to even the odds. What do I mean by kite your enemies to even the odds? Well, it's quite simple. I don't want to wait till I have an army of 20 to fight 20 guys, right? I want to go in with an army of 10 and whack 20 looters. How do I do that? It's simple. You'll need a horse and a shield. Once the battle starts, have your men charge the looters. You, with your horse, you run out in front. As soon as the enemy aggroes on you, you kite them to the left or to the right. So what happens here is you'll split the army of looters into two. So what happens when you split the army into two, your men now actually only have to fight 10 men at a time, and you're busy kiting the other 10. Once your men is done with those guys, then you can kite them back to your army and help slay them all. Number 5. Become a mercenary. This one is important if you want to actually get help from allies and partake in bigger battles. Because you now have an ally, when they engage in huge battles, you can easily join in and help the fight. This is a great way to actually experience the big battles without losing too much of your own men. How do you actually become a mercenary? It's easy. Simply select the faction that you would like to join. Head over to one of their castles. You might travel around a bit to find someone at the actual castle. You'll know there's someone in the castle if you see a little portrait to the top right of the screen when you actually want to enter the castle. If there is someone home, simply enter the castle and start the conversation. You will lay down your sword for this faction, so this means that whoever they are enemies with, they also become your enemy. Number 6. Join every single tournament that you can. This is not only a great way to increase your skills in the game, but it also yields some good rewards. Rewards such as armor, weapons, renown. Every region has its unique type of weapons that you use during the tournament. You cannot choose the weapon that you take into the tournament, but you can take in the armor that you already own, which is great. The more armor, the more shots you can take. Once you become confident in the tournaments, it is time to start betting on yourself. The ball really starts rolling as you get more comfortable with the region's weapons. Once you've become very familiar with the region's weapon, it is time to start betting the max amount of money every single tournament on yourself. Number 7. Understand your speed. Speed is an important metric in this game because it shows you how quickly your army moves from point A to point B. Let's use my current army as an example. The current army I have has a speed of 4.9, and the army I'm chasing also has a speed of 4.9. This is actually going to put me in a position where I'll never catch up to the enemy. unless they make a mistake or I get them in some corner somehow. I do not recommend you chase armies with higher speed than you. it's going to cost you upkeep and it's going to cost you a lot of food. If you want to increase your speed, simply go and buy lots of horses. You'll definitely be thanking me once you have actually evaded that massive army that wants your head. This one is simple. Buy a damn shield. To me, there's two big reasons why you need a shield. The first one would be, if you look at tip number 4, when kiting an army, when you are approaching an army that's ranger heavy, you'll want something to block some arrows coming your way. If you didn't have something to block arrows, you'll probably be dead and won't be much use to your troops during the rest of the fight. The second reason is getting used to the game's combat system. When using a shield to block off attacks, it's easier to land the successful blocks against those thrusts and those heavy weapons swinging your way. It's much harder blocking off attacks with a weapon. You'll need to match the direction of the attack to land a successful parry. Number 9. Starting a business. This one is extremely important for your sort of mid to end game because you'll need to start making real money as your army size grows. What better way to start a business than to actually just buy a caravan and have that person sell the goods in your name. Starting a caravan isn't cheap either. It's going to cost you 15,000 gold pieces and a hero that will manage your caravan. To start a caravan, head to your favorite town and select the option that says walk around in city center. While wandering the streets of the city, head to your nearest merchant. Hit left alt to see all the points of interest in the city. Once you've spotted a merchant, in my case I actually went for the goods trader, head over straight to him and start a conversation. After a brief introduction to the merchant, select the option that says I want to start a caravan and be ready to hand him over 15,000 gold pieces and one of your best men. Once this has successfully concluded, congratulations, you've now started your own business. The last tip in this guide is take care of prisoners the right way. No, I don't mean execute them, I mean become their friend. As you start conquering different armies in this game, after most battles you'll have the option to take prisoners, let them go, or sell them. We won't be selling them today. We will be tagging along these prisoners until they are ready to become part of our force. This is a great way to build up your army. And there you have it. Thanks for watching. Please make sure to like, comment and subscribe. Until next time, this is Beards, Swords and Shotguns.